I welcome you all to my channel. So today in this video we will learn about an important topic which is Git and GitHub. As a software engineer or a software developer or someone who is joining any company, you must know about Git. Okay, so let us get into the topic. Okay, what is Git? So what you all can remember is Git, you can refer it to as a version control system, which is VCS. So because every software has different versions of its code. Okay, let's say for an example we take Swiggy. When they launched their app, their version was, let's say, 1.0. Now their version, let's say, 1.9. There are 9 versions of their apps. So in order to keep track of each and every version of your app, you need to use some software which is Git. So we can also define Git as Git is a command line tool that allows us to keep track of changes that we make in our code. Let's say there is a code. You made some changes to that code. You can keep track of that changes by using Git. Okay. And Git also helps us to synchronize the code between different people. Let's say there is a project and there are 5 people who are working on it. Now these 5 people can access the code and keep track of changes in the code. Okay, so this is how Git helps when you work in teams, and it also allows us to test the changes that you make to the code without losing the original copy of the code. The original copy will be maintained by GitHub, and now you can make changes and test the code. And it also gives us the ability to revert back to the original copy of the code at any point of time. Okay, so let us come into the topic of GitHub commands and tools. So in order to use Git, first what you have to do is you need to host your project onto an hosting service, and then you can keep track of changes that you make on that project. So there are many hosting services, one such is GitHub. Okay, so what you can do is you can put all your project files and store it on GitHub, and then by using Git you can keep track of whatever changes that you make to that code or those folders or those files. Okay, so in order to use GitHub, first you need to create a GitHub account. Okay, you can just open browser and you can search for github.com. You can create your own GitHub account, and you should create a repository, which means a folder. In that folder you are going to store all your code files. Okay, and now whatever changes you make to that code, you can keep track of them by using Git. It is a command line tool. That means you can access and track all the changes using commands. Okay, we will learn those commands in upcoming videos. Okay, so in order to create a repository, you can click on this new. So you need to give a repository name, that is your project name. So here in GitHub we are putting all our code files. Okay, let's say I'll put it as test git. Okay, and if you want any description you can give description. Okay, so whenever you are creating a repository, you have two options. You can either put it public or you can put it private. If you put it in public, anybody can access your project and they can download a local copy of that and make changes to it. Okay, so public means your project will be available to the public. They can clone your project, they can download your project on their system and make changes to it. Okay, if you put it private, you are the only person who can access your project. Okay, so for now I'm putting it public, and you can just click on create repository. If you want to add any readme file, that means if you want to give any instructions to someone whenever you are creating a project, you can add this and you can give instructions like in a text format. You can write something, whoever are downloading this project, you can you can do these steps. Okay, so I'm creating a repository. This is an empty repository. Okay, so now you can access this repository by using this link. Okay, so this is in my account. Okay, now we have created a folder on GitHub. Now you can access this code using this link. So now you want to add files to this folder. Okay, you can click on upload an existing file. So I have created a test dot like HTML file which will just show my channel's name. This is just an h1, okay, inside this HTML. Now I will add this file onto my GitHub. Okay, and now what you can do is you can commit this change. That means you have added a new file to that folder, to the repository. So you are saving that. In order to save it, we call it as commit here. Okay, you can add a commit message. I have added test.html. If someone adds it, they will write a commit message and they will add it. Okay, now everyone can access this file using that link. Okay, I'll show you. So now this file is added. Now everyone can access this code using this link. Okay, now you can access this link and you can clone this. Clone in the sense you can copy this onto your local machine. So now in order to clone, what you have to do is you need to first after before doing all this, you need to install Git on your system. So in order to install Git, what you can do is you can open your browser and you can just type Git in your search bar. It will open you the official website of Git, and you can just click on download for Windows here, which will start downloading Git. It's a very simple installation. You can click next, 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 next. Okay, once you installed, now you are able to access all the commands which are provided by Git. Okay, so now what you can do is you can open your any command prompt. Okay, since I have already installed it, now I am able to access all the Git commands. I'll just change my directory to my desktop. Okay, now here I want to clone the project which we have created. In order to clone, the command is git clone. Okay, and you can paste the link. See, now if you want to clone any someone's folder, you can also do the same. You can search for that, you can copy this link, and you can only clone it if it is a public directory. Now if I click enter, see, this has cloned to me. Now I'll get a local copy of it. See, I'll get it somewhere. Test git. Now it has created a folder, and inside this I got this test.html. Okay, so this is how we use Git, and in the next video we will learn more about Git and more commands in Git. Okay, so stay tuned, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.